What's up, Demarcus? You said Ayesha Curry want to be Jada Pickett Smith so bad. I don't know if I want to say she trying to be Jada, but she do be doing some crazy shit sometimes. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Welcome everybody that came in so far. I'm gonna give everybody else like another minute. Then we're gonna go ahead and start. That's not the one. Shit. All right. Good morning, D. Morning, Ollie. Yeah, that nigga Tony be tripping. You saw that comment he left on my he left on this one of my videos. Shit, nigga is tripping. He just be saying shit at this point. But anyways, though, we're gonna go ahead and get ready to dive on in. As y'all see, like usual, we got 4 pretty exciting topics. Actually, I think today is it's a pretty lit morning for these folks. Kind of set it off a little bit to this morning. So we got, of course, the Steph and Ayesha news that actually started maybe 2 days ago or whatever. So I'm a little late on this train, but still I want to go ahead and give my, take on it. But um as we know, she kind of said some stuff on the Call Her Daddy podcast that a lot of people has been, going at her, and also, of course, going at Steph Curry because of it. And I'm gonna give my take on it. We can dive in and talk about that. Then, of course, we also have Tyler Perry, who is under fire right now. Like they cooking him right now. Because allegations between him and the actor Derek Dixon, one of his actors from the hit show The Oval, accused him of sexual allegations. And it first started maybe I can't remember what month that he first came out with those allegations, but it was some months ago. And then it kind of cooled down. Folks stopped talking about it, and then boom, out of nowhere, he get an explosive interview with ABC, a major network, and now stuff starting back up. So we're gonna talk about that. Then you got your boy Marlon Wayans. He's caught a little bit of heat as of late. I didn't really know too much of this, but somebody else reported on it, and I kind of picked it up last night. Basically, he's a couple of people said they putting him under cancel culture due to his takes regarding his transgender son. Or I'm trying to remember how. See, I mean, I'm not too familiar with how this stuff goes. So he got a trans. It was a girl that became a boy. So I don't know if there would be a transgender daughter, I guess. But anyways, I'm gonna give my take and stuff on that one. And lastly, we got another reparations talk. This one right here is a little different. It's kind of crazy because a lot of people was always under the impression, including myself actually, that Trump was all not for reparations. Well, not 100% with him, with me at least, but I knew clientele that he appointed that he know is pro-abortions. Trump has appointed him a certain position that is kind of shocking that the reparations committee is starting to speak on. So actually, I'll be bringing Taj back through here again to kind of shed a little bit more light on what's going on with that. So those are our four topics for today. Check up on some of these. Steve, what's up, man? Hey, appreciate you, Takari. But Steve, what's up, man? They were asking about you the other day. What's up, T Miles? Tyler Perry is using this to promote Beauty in Black. I don't know, bro, because that's kind of crazy. I get what you're saying, but that's kind of crazy, bro, to try to promote a show by getting on the fire like that. And I don't know, he came out with that stuff pretty early, so. But anyway, we're going to dive into it. Anyways, let's go ahead and start with the first topic, which is Ayesha and Steph. So, like I said earlier, the girl Ayesha came out with some pretty strong claims. Like, she came out and said, well, you know what? I'm going to give her a little bit of grace this time. I think people just was quick to attack her on this one. Because actually her comments on this one wasn't that bad, the way people are trying to make it out to be. So, like I said, I'm not going to go too hard on her for this one. Now, that Red Table Talk one, that one was crazy. But this one here, I think people are, blowing it a little bit out of proportion. Because it wasn't really that bad. But anyways, I'm going to pull out a brief clip of what she had to say, and we can kind of, dive into it.
One time, right after my first was born, she was whiny, so I was like, let me just nurse her in the back seat. And Stefan was putting a bike or something in the trunk. And this woman, opens the car door and she sticks her head in and she's like, I just wanted to see the baby. And I'm like, excuse me. And she looks me dead in my face and goes, oh, honey, you know what you signed up for. And then, shuts the door on me. And I was just crying because I was postpartum. I was just bawling my eyes out. And I'm like, what? Is this what it's going to be like?
Wow.
And so that the beginning phases were
Yeah.
kind of scary for me.
And as a woman, like, did you ever experience any type of like direct scrutiny over just like you or what you looked like or how you were acting?
Oh, all the time. I feel like I still do. And that's okay. But
how did that impact you though early on when you were like, I'm still not equipped to handle this? Because now you're like seasoned. Yes, it affects you, but you now have the tools of like, I've been here before. I know exactly how to handle this moment.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it doesn't still hurt.
It was so depressing. And also it was during that time when this like social media thing was just ramping up. And so people were going buck wild. And just spewing opinions on things that didn't warrant opinions. And so I remember.
Okay, so that's a brief part of some of the things that she had to say. Now she said a couple of other things that was a little bit of a wild take. A little bit, but I don't think, like I said, I don't think it was as bad as people making it out to be. So pretty much, let me go ahead and just say some of the things that people were really giving her major pushback on. So she basically described that growing up, when they were growing up, she wasn't, see, it's kind of a media manipulation thing going on, because I seen a short clip of her saying that she never thought her and Steph were going to be together. You know what I'm saying? That she always saw him as a friend, never as a, anything, intimate or anything in that nature. But then, of course, it ended up happening. But the part that they left out is that she was just saying that she didn't think he was interested in her like that. But see, they didn't put that part. Because I actually seen a bunch of clips of just the part I just told you guys. And that just goes to show you how easily it is for people to manipulate things. Because without the extra context of knowing that she was saying she didn't think he was interested in her, you would think she's saying she's kind of, downplaying them. She also went on to say that she thought she was going to be the breadwinner, because she thought he was going to be a high school basketball coach. And then, of course, he ended up becoming what he became. And, she said it was kind of hard because she wasn't planning on being that type of girl. Now, me personally, I'm going to go ahead and just say it. I don't think she said anything that was too bad in this one. Because if you're dating someone that, especially he said he wanted to be a basketball coach. Basketball coach don't make much money. So I don't think nothing's wrong with her thinking she was going to be the breadwinner if she has a career that exceeds that. So that's just my opinion on that. Like I said, I definitely think people is blowing this one out of proportion. Now, they red table talk, that was some bullshit. Now it ain't no, you know what I'm saying? It ain't no defending that. You can't defend that red table talk. I don't give a damn. I understand that women are, I don't want to say the word. Let me reword what I was about to say. I would say this: women love attention, and my women that's in here, y'all know this shit is true. Women love attention. It's just what it is. So, when she was saying that she don't like that she doesn't get any attention, and sometimes she wants attention from other men, but Steph gets so much attention from women. That one was kind of crazy, because you gotta think about it. First off, when you with a man of that magnitude, like a man that's an all-time great, arguably top 10, some of them even say top 5 greatest of all time, he's gonna get way more attention to you. Like, yeah, you're a pretty girl and stuff like that, but you're not doing nothing super great in the world that everybody would recognize you and want you like that. Like that's some of that female Delulu going on right there. He's gonna get more attention to you, no matter what you do. He's gonna get more attention to you, so you can hang that up. And then it was kind of embarrassing. And then also, when the men came out, she gonna fake take her ring out, like that stuff like that. Yeah, that was out of line. But this one right here, like I said, I think people blew it up to be more than what it is. She just sat out. Now I will say this: this podcast got to be a messy podcast. Why the hell are you on a podcast called "Call Her Daddy"? Like, what kind of shit is that? Let's see. Tyler Perry needs to come out the closet. He's already busted. There's a lot of people that need to, not just him. If D twine the election back to back, we would not have worry about D twine. Who are you talking about? Worry about Donald Trump. Ayesha Curry is falling in the same path as Tia Marley. Perhaps. I don't know if I can say they're the same. If Donald Trump won the election back to back, then we wouldn't have to worry about Donald Trump anymore. Oh, okay. That's what you were saying. Steph Curry's daughter got more attention than Ayesha Curry did. You know, you talking about her, his oldest one, Riley, when he used to bring her to the press conference and stuff, right? But I don't think that's not the one that we just shared. There's nothing wrong with her saying, you know, how, because think about it, your life was regular at one point, and then all of a sudden, you know, things just explode out of nowhere. Now you get no privacy and stuff like that. Everybody's always following you, and a bunch of girls obviously is probably always trying to get at your dude. So I feel it on that. Yeah, it is. You know, people, but see, people are entitled. These people love celebrities, bro. Like they legit idolize them, especially the women. They think they can take your man. Oh yeah, they gonna try it, and don't give a damn. But I'm gonna say this: it seems as if Steph to be a very very nice dude. One thing I'm gonna get Ayesha some props on, despite some of her crazy takes that she has shared with the world that could have stayed put. One thing she did say that I thought was a really good thing is she let it be known that her man, her husband, always comes before anything, even the children. And I think that's a lot of confusion in today's society, because most women today will put their children before their husband, and that's not. Especially with Steph and her being Christians, the Bible tells you your spouse comes first. It is not your children. But a lot of women, I would say at this point of time, at a 90-some% rate, will choose their children first. And they logic for that is that your husband could leave, which is crazy. Because what you're doing is, if you're neglecting him, he might decide to leave you because of that. And then on top of that, once those kids get old, it's a lot of circumstances that your children don't mess with you no more after they get older. They go on with their own business, get their own wife or their own husband, and they may not pay much attention to you no more. Your husband is going to be there with you for the rest of your life. So you need to make, the best of it. Would you do a reality show? No. I've already had several offers for it. I don't like reality TV. Far too many women will put their friends and social media above their family. Yep. I'm gonna quote something that Myron Gaines says a lot, and I gotta agree with it 100% because I've seen it way too many times. Men will sacrifice their happiness for the sake of their family. Women will sacrifice their family for the sake of their happiness. Seen it way too many times, where they'll break up with their husband, their boyfriend, or whatever that they have children with because they're not happy. And that's absolute ludicrous. Anyways, though, pretty solid, segment. I hope to Currys can, get through, get through this and stuff like that. Like I said, I don't think it's too much bad thing people blowing it out of proportion because they just want to have major stories. And obviously, if you mention Steph Curry's name, Steph is gonna blow up. So that's all that's going on here. But it's not nearly as bad as they're trying to make it out to be. So on to the next one. And this is excuse me. We're gonna go ahead and dive in on your boy Tyler Perry, the media mogul worth $1 billion, got unlimited amount of shows, movies, a whole lot of success in the in the entertainment industry, has now been struck by lightning in the form of Derek Dixon, an actor that are on one of his shows that is now suing him for a whopping $260 million lawsuit. And of course, he came out with a bunch of crazy allegations that he said Tyler did to him, SAing him in multiple different occasions. He even shared text messages and stuff like that of him saying, sexual things to him that in his words were unwarranted. So as of recent, he went into ABC News and gave an interview. And it's getting big when ABC is picking it up. Now, I'm gonna give my take on it after I share this interview of what they're talking about, because it is definitely something major, terribly wrong that is going on, especially in our community when it comes to a lot of this stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and share some of the interview. I'm not gonna play the whole thing because it's too damn long, but play some of the things that this guy had Derek Dixon had to say. All right.
Himself. What made you decide to come forward with your story?
I wanted to speak out and not stay silent about it anymore.
Actor Derek Dixon sitting down for his first television interview since filing a $260 million lawsuit against media mogul Tyler Perry, detailing the alleged sexual harassment and assaults he says he endured.
That's when he pushed me up against the wall and grabbed my ass again.
Dixon starred as Dale in Tyler Perry's BET series, The Oval.
Why are you yelling? I'm in this too, remember? You're not in it. Did you get shot at? No, I actually got shot.
He appeared in 85 episodes between 2021 and 2025.
Tell us about the first time you ever met Tyler Perry.
Yeah, I met him at his studio opening party. And
somebody just want to point out really quickly, this lady here is always appearing when an agenda is being pushed. I just want to point that out before I go further. But yeah, she's always here when there's some kind of agenda being pushed. Just letting you know.
2019, I was working for an events company, and we met, and he said to me, are you an actor? And I said, well, not right now. I'm working on it, but not right now. And he said, yeah, you are. We need to talk. You should get my number and we'll talk about this.
Did any of your initial interactions give you pause?
A few of them were did give me pause, but they weren't bad enough to think like this was a dangerous situation in the beginning. Yeah.
According to your lawsuit, at one point early on, he bought you a car.
Yeah, he'd seen my Jeep around the studio that I was driving, and he said, you know, that's not a great
Caking ass Tyler, bro. That's crazy.
not a great car.
Tyler Perry is an actor, producer, director, playwright, and prominent name in the entertainment space. He launched his career in the 1990s.
You want this half? You want this half?
His 2005 breakthrough.
Yeah, it was. To be a series regular on a show was something I always dreamed about.
The complaint includes multiple screenshots of text messages allegedly between Dixon and Perry.
Picture where he's on the jet ski.
Y'all make sure y'all get these lights up too for everybody who came in, because I definitely don't have more than 7 people.
Well, I said, nice picture. And he said, yeah, the water looks calm. And he said, nice picture. You don't see that stud in that picture? Rude. And I said, LOL, yes, that's a stud. And all these texts, I tried to de-escalate them and make a joke out of them.
Some of the messages more sexual in nature.
One of them says, what?
Let me pause on this. I would hope that you would let someone hold you and make love to this man. You were missing the best years of your life, my friend. Trust me, I hope you get past that block in your mind soon. Well, it's not this person, but yes, I want to. I'm working on it. Therapy is happening. This is crazy as hell. What's it going to take for you to have guiltless this mind, bruh? I don't even want to read this.
What's it going to take for you to have guiltless sex? Have y'all found that in therapy yet? I would hope that you would let someone hold you and make love to you.
Now, the complaint also alleges that in January.
My thing is, did they confirm that this is actually Tyler Perry's number? I'm pretty sure they probably have done that. But I'm just saying, I would hope that they actually confirmed that it is his number.
Of 2020, there was an escalation from the text messages to Tyler Perry's behavior becoming physical.
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain that first alleged incident?
Yes, we were over at his house. We're having some drinks in his guest house, and it was late at night, and he has a guest quarters, and said that you can sleep there instead of not driving. And his house is far from Atlanta and where I was living, and I got into bed, and then I noticed that he climbed into bed with me as well, and started rubbing my leg. And I jumped up out of bed, and he has said, turn around so I can look at you, and just commented on how I looked. And then he got up and left. So I thought after that instance, it was pretty clear that I was not interested in that type of a relationship. It was very, very strange. I mean, I think it's okay that people try to make a move or shoot their shot, but if they get rejected, I think that they should stop. And so I thought it would stop after that, and it didn't.
At the end.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop it there, because like I say, it's a little too long for me to play the whole thing. I kind of get the gist of everything that's going on. I believe everybody in the chat probably do as well. If not, then you can go ahead and watch the full interview on your own. But this is crazy. Oh boy, this shit is crazy. Hold up, man. Hey, I was trying not to laugh in the middle of when the interview was going. When I seen you said this to Curry, the mic called him a billionaire booty bandit. I called this nigga a billionaire booty bandit. Tyler Perry accused Derek Dixon, says he's seeking accountability. How do you stop a billionaire who won't stop themselves? Really? Yeah, I saw that. So this is my thing. I'm gonna say this. Obviously, men don't get the same, because obviously men can get sexual harassed, but this is the thing. You also still a man, nigga. Like, you can put a stop to it. So this is my take on it. Are some men strong enough to physically take something from a man? Absolutely. But it don't seem like that was the case here. And obviously you were still taking gifts like that car that you mentioned, and you still was accepting his roles on his show. So you're kind of sort of leading him on by constantly doing those type of things. Now, am I saying he deserved any of the stuff? No. But at the same time, bro, I think this situation that's going on with Tyler Perry is the same as the Shannon Sharp situation. They were okay with it to a degree until they wouldn't get in their way. And then once they wouldn't get in their way, they like, okay, I'm gonna file a lawsuit and try to, take him for take his ass for a fuck shot and rape him for a lot of money. That's what I think pretty much is going here. Now, do I think Tyler Perry is on the down low? Absolutely. I've been saying that shit since the beginning, but that ain't my business. You feel me? That ain't got nothing to do with me. If Tyler, whatever he's doing in his personal life and stuff ain't got nothing to do with me. It ain't affecting my life in no sort of way. So I actually think, because it's just too many of us. Think about this. All of our black billionaires are under attack right now. If you can really pay attention, all of them, almost all of them are on their attack. It's like one by one, they're going after them. You know how they did Diddy. And this is the thing. They did that to Diddy kind of once. And don't get me wrong, I think Diddy did some egregious things. So don't think I'm taking up for this nigga. I'm definitely not. But I do know that these allegations started after he decided he wanted to sue that liquor company, which would have brought in a massive amount of money. Also, after he was being more political. When black people are starting to be more political, and he was talking about starting the black political party and things like that, boom, here come the lawsuit. He getting hit for millions on top of millions of dollars in the in the court system. Now he went from being a billionaire status to, last time I checked, he was at 400 million, but who knows? It may be lower than that now. Look how much money they done took from that man. So it's definitely some kind of agenda that is being pushed right now to take down all of the powerful black billionaires. But here's the other thing. Here's the accountability part. We shouldn't be putting ourselves in positions like that so they can be able to, to pursue things like that. Now, can they make up shit? Absolutely. But do I think this dude here has 100% made up all of this? Hell no. I think Tyler absolutely did some of this shit. But my thing is, you could have left and gotten yourself out of it, but you stayed in it because you were benefiting from it. And I believe you're only trying to file this lawsuit because you're no longer in the driver's seat that you thought you were in, trying to because apparently he said that Tyler Perry was promising him his own show, and he kept asking Tyler about it, and Tyler kept brushing it off. So you ask me, I think this is revenge. Like, okay, so you're not gonna give me the show? Boom, let me go ahead and file this lawsuit. And then and then this is the thing. White people ain't gonna play around. Now, black people, we way more sympathetic. So, they be like, man, I don't want to mess up his career. I don't want to. And then on top of that, I think black people, when they're being harassed and stuff, we're a lot more afraid when it comes to trying to sue somebody this up and powerful. But white people, they like, hell no, F that. I'm about to sue this ugly ass nigga. And that's what Derek is doing right now. He's like, yeah, this man cooked. And it's looking real bad for him. Like, I know, DeMarcus, you saying I'm going to give him some publicity for Beauty and Black. I don't think that's what this is. You said Derek Dixon looked like he was cloned. Derek Dixon, who had a role on Tyler Long running TV show The Over Saturday. This nigga, he go to IMDb. ABC interviewing before the case that goes to court is definitely an industry takedown. But Tyler Perry brought it on himself by not coming out. Yeah. And this is the thing. Why not? Nigga, 2025, everybody, are acceptance to gay culture now. Like, nigga, it's not like folks, you're going to lose. I don't think you're going to lose a single, follower or, your fan base is not going to take a major nosedive if you was to come out. In fact, you might actually gain if you was to do that. But for some reason, a lot of these guys refuse to come out. They just want to stay, hidden. acting like they ain't getting Tyler. I don't know how you was trying to hide it, nigga. Nigga, you wear dresses for your come up, and like it's how he did it. And then I don't care what nobody says, but we get it that the new industry that we're in, the people that's over things is forcing a lot of the homosexuality events to be in there. We get it, but you know, it's how he be doing it in every last show. It be way over the top. Like, you know, Power has some of them in there now, but it's not over the top like some of this stuff that we be seeing in Tyler Perry. Straight men aren't doing that. I'm sorry. They're just not doing that. They'll just make the same very basic, you know, the two dudes do whatever and then end it. This man is going all in for it. And I'm sorry, I just don't know. I don't know straight men, a lot of them, that's gonna be just pushing that heavily like that. Like that don't mean be hateful towards them or anything like that. Like, you know, you see them, you can greet them just like any other person, like cool, what's up, you know, do some work with them, whatever. Long as you stay in your lane, I stay in mine, we good. But like when you going this far, yeah, it's something wrong, my boy. You said get that card back. Absolutely get that card back. If I'm Tyler, I'm asking for it back. Now this mediocre actor is about to get paid because Tyler Perry would have to admit that it was a relationship to get out of it. You ain't lying. Yep. You got to come out the closet, Tyler. And look, I'm pretty sure you'll never see this interview, Tyler, but look, by some kind of miracle, if you did, if you were to see this video, I'm telling you, Tyler, it's okay, my boy. Just come out, defend your name, let them folks know this was a relationship that we had, and it was done because I believe he had, like, you know, from my understanding, also, I believe he was looking for people that he didn't want necessarily, you know, a commitment with, but he wanted somebody to be like his what do you call it? Like his eye candy or something like that. Like his person that whenever he feeling to let off some steam, he could go to and do, you know, get his sexual pleasures off, and that be the end of it. So go ahead and tell your side, be honest about it, my boy, and go ahead and get this nigga off your back. And share and if you got some receipts, share the receipts. Because it's gonna come out way better than you than letting that fool hit you for like if he filed for 260 million, I'm pretty sure he's not gonna get 260. But if a settlement or something like that has to be done, bro, he gonna get you for at least 60 mil, bro. So 60 mil, bro, that's a lot of money to get, even though you're a billionaire status, bro. That's a lot of money. You don't want to drop that off to that man. So go ahead and come out the closet. Tell them, nah, this little glad nigga lying. We had a little thing going on, and get this shit over with. Why did he go to Tyler Perry house alone to the late? Exactly. So look, I think the dude isn't denying that he's, you know, gay. I don't think he's denying that. But what he's claiming is that he wasn't into Tyler like that. And Tyler was trying to push it on him. Yeah, Tyler Perry was S8 as a child. Yes, he was. And I believe that's what, you know, is leading to a lot of these things. You know, the aggressiveness that Derek is speaking on and stuff like that. But still, like Takari is saying, why are you going to somebody like Tyler Perry's house to have drinks and then going to a guest bedroom and all that, bro? If I'm at Tyler Perry's place, bro, first off, it got to be a group gathering. Like, let's say we all doing a production together. The cast and the crew is there. And then he inviting everybody over for dinner. All right, I may do that because it's a big group. But under no circumstances is he telling me, hey, let's do this one-on-one. You know, I want to run something by you. Oh, you want to drink? Hell no, Tyler. What the hell you think this is, nigga? I know what you're trying to do. Derek Dixon was giving mixed signals. Huey Freeman warned us about Tyler. Who would y'all say is worse, Tyler Perry's situation or P. Diddy? Well, definitely P. Diddy. It's just definitely worse. Yeah, being sued is a trend now, bro. Like, folks is taking our folks for a lick right now. You saying that one Boondocks of the episode actually happened? Hey, bro, I didn't watch Boondocks like that, but hey, I don't know. Yeah, he just wanted the bond. Exactly. He didn't want no like relationship with the man. Would you not scrape men who watch all the Queen's men because of their wife or woman? No. Why not? Why? I mean, shit. You just sharing a moment with your wife, and y'all watching the show together. I actually watched a few episodes with my girl before. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with that shit. I think that's another thing. I think people are too quick to put the GAY on people because of any little thing. Like, bro, there just because you watching a show with your girl that's kind of more of a feminine show. It's just you kind of being more affectionate for your girl. But is it something that I'll just pick up and watch on my own? Probably not. But I think people throw that around way too loosely. That dude will take 50 mil. That's why he made it so high. Yeah, exactly. You always start high, and then once the settlement is happened, you may get 10% of what you actually asked for, or some shit like that. 20% of it, or whatever. Watching P Valley with your girl helps the relationship. Now that one I refuse to watch. I'm sorry. I seen the glyphs of that. I'm sorry. I just couldn't do that one. Do way too much. Couldn't do it. And it's sad because it's from my area, and then the creator of it is actually from Memphis too. But that Uncle Clifford Joker, I just couldn't do it. Yeah, that. But I'm gonna go ahead and direct it to the next topic, people. We're gonna go ahead and take it on over to your boy Marlon Wayans. So Marlon Wayans, I actually picked up on, like, shout out to Ticket TV if any of you guys are familiar with him. That's where I got this story from, and it kind of put it on my radar. I already knew of him having a transgender son or something like that. But what I wasn't aware of is, all of the details and stuff like this. So, and that, people were talking about canceling them for it. Now, for me, I think special circumstances, it depends on how it is for me. And I'll explain a little bit more after I go ahead and, share this video that I'm going to share. But to me, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know the full details of it. But from what I saw, I don't see. And also, what matters to me is what's the age of the child. Is this a child? And I didn't look that up. I'm going to look it up actually right now.
That warms my heart, particularly a role model for dealing with a child that's transgender.
Absolutely.
And that's, that warms my heart, particularly as a Black man. Would you care to?
Real quick, this is another example of how people love to use videos to manipulate them and creating something. Y'all heard what Michelle just said here?
Warms my heart, particularly as a Black man.
People were using that, and it was kind of being used to manipulate, to say that this was her confessing to being a, you know, because there's been a lot of allegations out that Michelle is a man, right? That Michelle is Michael. Now, I'm not going to give my opinion on that, but I'm just giving another example of how people manipulate things. Because if you didn't watch this full thing of what was said here, it does kind of seem like that Michelle is saying that me particularly, I'm a black man. And that's not what was happening. You got to listen to the whole thing. And then people are so gullible and foolish that they don't know how to research things on their own to figure out what was actually said.
You know, just so proud of how you are being a role model for dealing with a child that's transgender.
Absolutely.
And that's, you know, that warms my heart, particularly as a black man. You know, would you care to share that journey of?
Well, I learned and their transition really taught me what real unconditional love was.
Yep.
When they went through the transition,
Mm-hmm.
I actually went through the transition.
Yep.
I went from denial to complete acceptance.
Mm-hmm.
And it took me a week to get there. You know, and what I've learned as a parent is for you to stop loving your child because of their choice and their life, that's a poor reflection on you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? When there's people that go, I'm not going to associate with you because you do that, or this is against God and this. It's like, listen, I am not here to judge. I am not God. Only God can judge. And I say this, you know, and if that's a mistake and we get to heaven and God don't let my child in, I'm going to shave a beard and sneak him in through the back. But I'm going to love my baby. And I'm a father. And I'm always going to defend them. I'm always going to protect them. I'm always going to respect them. And there's nothing anybody could ever tell me. I could lose fans, good. I lost people that are small-minded, small-hearted, and self-loathing. So goodbye. And I gained, for every one I lose, I gain 150 more.
Yeah.
You know?
So for me as the uncle, you know, it's, I love you, period, right? But somebody got to write a rule book and how I need to treat you. Because I don't know, do I, hey, buddy, do I shake your hand? Can I put you in a headlock? Can I treat you like my like I treat my other nephews? I don't know. You know, and I don't want you to ever feel that I'm judging you.
That's right, because you just don't know. I used to say it's like going to your grandmother and expecting them to learn a new language overnight. You know, it's like they've been speaking this.
All right, that's enough of that. I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna play the whole thing because we, you know, we don't have that much time. But what I am gonna say to this, like, oh yeah, that's what I meant to do. I gotta look up the age of Marlon Wayans' kid, because that's really what matters to me. Okay, so 24. That's legal age, you know. That's old enough that, hey, if you decide that that's the decision you want to make, that's the decision you want to make. So me personally, on this particular topic, I don't have a problem with nothing he said. You know, it's not us to judge people on how they raise their kids and how they love their kids. Whether we agree with it or not, I mean, that doesn't really matter. They're not our child. Now, the Dwayne Wade situation, that was different. Because that boy was he started pushing that on him, I think at the age of 12. That's far too young for you to be accepting of that. I don't give a damn what you say. You don't do that at a, because the child is too many cases where a child goes through phrases where they're feeling like, you know, they might want to do this at, you know, at one point, and then later on when they get older, they be like, you know what, I grew out of that. You know what I'm saying? So that happens. So allow the child to get of age. And then once they're of age, if they still feel like that's what they're going to do, well, now They're an adult. They got to make their own decisions. You can't control them after that. So in Marlon's situation with the child being 24, well over age, if I agree with him, I mean, you can disown the child if you want to and stuff like that. But I mean, I guess that what comes down to whether or not you want to have a relationship with your child. And it seems like to me, you know, he does want to have a relationship with his child, so that's the decision that he made. Have no problem with none of that. Now, I will say this: I did see some stuff that looked like he was going a little over the top, embracing it, like jumping into those little colorful balls and stuff, putting the rainbow, all that. That's a little too much. You can just be acceptance of your child without doing all that, because this is my thing. My stance against this has always been the same. Don't push it on children. Adults can do their adult activities. Cool. That's what you decide you want to do. Cool. We're adults here. But putting it in children's shows, putting it in school curriculum, putting it in anything that you know children has access to, it should not be there. And I'm gonna be damn with nobody have to say there's no soul on the planet that can change my mind about this. Under no circumstances should a child have access to things like that, because they're far too young to be seeing things like that. You confuse, it's very, very easily to manipulate the mind of a child. So you should not be, it's crazy how you can, they're old enough to be able to accept that they want to be a trans, but they're not old enough to drink. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. They're not old enough to drink yet. They're not old enough to vote yet. They're not old enough to go to the military and be in a war yet. But they're old enough to make a permanent decision about their life that they could later on regret, and it can't be undone. That's crazy. Let me check up on these last little comments. Taj has now came in. I'm about to go ready to transition over to the final topic, but let me catch up on what y'all saying. Marlon Wayans, one of the realest niggas in the business. Michelle literally popped up 2 kids. The fuck? I hope Marlon Wayans return to Bel Air and encourage Will to play. Hey, he killed it for sure, DeMarcus. He killed it in Bel Air. The scene where you know, Will got the 2 parents together. That's another thing I loved about, and it's crazy we're talking about Bel Air right now, but real briefly. I loved how the new Bel Air didn't make Will's dad just a simple deadbeat, that it was circumstances that made him out of Will's life. And then, you know, how they gave us the story between them two of what happened, the reason why he went to jail, and how he tried to go get his money back from the guy who refused to pay him. And, you know, he ended up getting locked up for it. I loved it. And Marlon Wayans, throughout the entirety of Bel Air, been killing it. So I 100% agree with you. I really hope he comes back for this last season of Bel Air. People putting Marlon Wayans and Dwayne Wade in the same category now. I don't know. You know, I don't, like I said, it's people that's saying, you know, they done with him and they canceling him. And you seen him say in that interview how he's certain fans and stuff that he lost because of this. I wouldn't like it, but I would still love and support my adult child unconditionally. I think I'm the same with you, Takara, when it comes to this. I think if my child was to turn out to be that, that's how I would be my approach. Now, I'm not going to embrace it like that. I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to embrace it. But I don't think I can deny my child and be like, you ain't mine no more because of this. You know, like he said, only God can judge you on that, and he gonna pass the final judgment on you. All I can do is you under my guidance to try to guide you the way, you know, I feel it should be as a parent, and under the laws and regulations that God put in place for us. And then if something was to happen that, you know, you was to go the other way, still gonna love you, but hey, it's in God's hands after that. Complaining, critiquing, and criticizing is a form of judging. Let me see. I don't know if I would say that's a form of judging. I don't think so. Judging is like when you telling somebody what they did was wrong and they shouldn't be doing it. Critiquing somebody is telling you could do this better. That's not the same thing. Like I critique something all the time. If it's gonna, and then this is the thing. It's way too many people that are too soft in this world now. The reason why we at the place we're at now. People want to just just let them do them. No, you got to hold these folks freaking accountable. You got to hold them accountable so that they can actually get better. How they're going to get better if you just everything they do, you just let them do what they want to do. Hell no, we're gonna just fall as a nation because everybody's gonna be getting weaker and weaker because it's no real men no more telling them, hey, you can be doing this better. Get better. There's nothing wrong with critiquing. So I disagree with that. Marlon Wayans is the same boat as Magic Johnson with Irvin Johnson Jr. And Magic never denies him. So hey, I'm sure he might disagree with some of the stuff that he does, but hey, like at the end of the day, like I said, I'm gonna love my child, but hey, it is what it is. I love Bel Air. The creator did a great job on the remake. I just hope the first Aunt Viv gets featured in the final season. Yeah, that would be nice. All right, though. So, damn, that nigga actually just got off. I'm trying to hold off a little bit second. I gotta get Taj back on here. Shit. Hey, what happened? One second. Let me try to get him on this call.
What's good?
Yeah, I was about to go ahead and let you up now.
All right, cool.
But yeah, so let me read up. You say Marlon Wayans shared that his child transition prompted his own personal growth, leading him to understand that true unconditional love means accepting the child for who they are, regardless of their. In the Bible, the term judging isn't simply pointing out an issue. The judge actually passes a verdict and then hands out a punishment. God doesn't want us handing out the punishments for our inequities. Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I was saying. I believe folks use that way too loosely to try to justify some BS that they're doing. You can call out BS. If we're gonna go with saying, "Oh, you can't judge nobody," so basically, you're telling me if somebody go down the street and murder somebody in cold blood, that you can't judge him for that. You don't know what God would have said for a reason why he did that. That's crazy. No, you're gonna judge him and you're gonna deal with it. So it depends on what it is. 2025 is the year of complaining, critiquing, and criticizing, and crashing out. Now, I think 2025 is the year of people holding people accountable. That's what I think it is. And folks don't like it. Anyways, Taj is now here, so I'm going to go ahead and transition over to the final segment. So, in this final segment, I don't want to misquote anything, so I'm going to really let him do a little bit more of the talking as far as like, some of the things that is said. But basically, we have something going on with the reparations. Basically, President Trump prompted a state legislator to the U.S. Attorney, particular representative. Basically, this guy that he appointed, if I'm not mistaken, he's in the government for California, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Correct.
Okay, so and this guy is pro reparations, and that for the people that's saying they don't want us to get it because they don't want it to be, they don't want the tax dollars to be paid from it. This guy is he's pro reparations, and it won't come from the taxpayer.
Yes, he took away that excuse in the bill in the reparation bill he introduced. So he took away the taxpayers using the taxpayers' money to fund reparations. So they can't use that as an excuse. Remember, we addressed that, I think, on the last morning show. And thanks for bringing me back on the platform. So yeah, he took that excuse away, so there's no more excuses.
Oh, I want to point this out. That's a very good scripture that you just quoted, Takari. Yeah, you gotta call out people's bullshit. Now, I think when it comes to this, if whatever they have done to you was done privately, handle it privately. Everybody else don't need to know what's going on with what y'all got going on. Now, if they publicly shamed you or did something that was wrong, then yeah, you should publicly address it because it was done publicly. But this thing saying that you're letting people off the hook, talking about people can't criticize nobody. No, nigga. It's always happened since the beginning of time, and it's going to continue to happen. That's the only way you can keep order in things and keep some form of righteousness still being alive. You just let people run wild and do whatever they want, and then be mediocre all the time. You're never gonna get. Matter of fact, the great shows that we watch and enjoy. Imagine just allowing people to keep being mediocre and never give us a good product. Right. You're gonna stop watching it because it's not good, dude. People have to criticize. You need criticism. I don't know what the heck you're talking about with that. There's a difference between, but this is the thing. 2000. What I will say is 2025 is the year that people label constructive criticism as hating. It's a difference. Hating is when you just on somebody's ass for no reason all the time because you're just jealous of what they have. So you just want to find a reason to talk down on them. But critiquing them, criticizing them on something that they're weak at and you want to see them get better at it, that's totally different. But anyways, though, back to the reparations talk. So can you go ahead and give us the name of the guy and what basically he represents on the matter?
Yes, the name is Bill, last name Aselli. And Bill Aselli, who's the current U.S. attorney. If anybody in the chat that can check that out, type in Bill, Bill, Aselli, and then you can put reparations behind it if you want to. And that's our goal, is to insist that President Trump adopt this bill on a federal level because it takes away all the excuses, and we have shared goals of economic growth with this bill. Remember, reparations is the only portion of our U.S. national debt that also serves as an investment. I'd love to get some thoughts back on that. Think about that. It's like you owing somebody, let's say you owe a group of people money, but this one person, if you pay them back, it doubles as an investment, not just a debt. Oh, it circles back around to actually benefit you.
Right. So basically, you're saying that the way he's done it, that once the reparations is passed out, it could actually benefit the rest of the country as well.
No doubt about that. There's economists who got reports out there about that. Now this guy, you know, he's Republican, and I hate to play politics, but you know, they're not really, let me use their lingo, they don't really care for handouts. So their thing is more business vouchers. So somebody like you, Jamie, you go show them, hey man, I already got Black Chat Chronicles, I got my podcast on and popping. Grant me the business voucher to take Black Chat Chronicles to the next level, to take UAN. So let's use you, bro, because I greatly appreciate you bringing me on to share this knowledge. You would be a prime example of how of how you would benefit their reparation idea, which doesn't use taxpayers' money. And that'll be my last time saying that. I think your audience get that part now. And but they do. You know, Trump is pro-business. Like, long as he's not trying to give no handouts, but if you show some initiative like you're doing and other people, that hey, we're trying to build our businesses, the business grants will help you level up, as we say. Go ahead, bro.
Okay, so one thing I see, we got a question down here. What would be the criteria to get the reparation? And that's something I do want to have you answer again, because I think last time I had you on here, it was some confusion. A couple of people misunderstood what was said. So I just want you to be able to set the record straight. Because a lot of people thought that after the first one that you were saying that the reparation will be for, you know, for people that, you know, foreigner blacks as well. And that's not the case.
That's
correct?
not the case. Please let me clean that up. For one, that's on a state level in California where they draw the year line at 1900. I went back and checked my notes and I read your comments as well. And I read how some people thought I was trying to sort of include the Black immigrant people, and that's not the case. I'm Black American on both sides. I know I may have some Ethiopian features, and if that turns out to be the case whenever I get around to doing my DNA, I'm cool with that. But on my mom and dad side, not that I have anything to prove to anybody, I'm Black American on both sides, mama and daddy. So to your question, remember we talking about this bill that this guy, Bill Asali, introduced. It's strictly for descendants of American freedmen. Remember, American freedmen are the slaves that fought in the Civil War, 1863 to 1865, once they became free. So the choice is yours to everybody in the comment section and the chat. You can identify as a descendant of an American slave. I'm more affirmative. I prefer the language descendant of American freedmen, which means we was freed from American slavery. And now we're striving and thriving to build our businesses, not looking for handouts, to live a higher quality of life. Go ahead, James. So to answer your question, this particular bill, and I put it in the, not in the comment section, but if you get a brief chance, it's in the, I guess the chat section where only you and I can see, to where people can pull it up and study the literature. But yeah, so only in California that they drew the line. And from my understanding of going to their different seminars and committees, it was like they were basically saying that's as far as back as you have to go. If you can find a family member, ancestor in 1900, you qualify. Now, we can spend a little more time on that. So let's say a Haitian, Jamaican, Bahamian, who have you, an African immigrant. Let's say they had an ancestor that was on U.S. soil in 1900, but that ancestor was not in slavery. According to California state recommendations, that person arguably would qualify. That's the state level. What we're talking about this morning is the national level. Getting this bill that Bill Asali put out, which is strict. It's called the American Freedmen Agency, something like that. I put it in the chat, and I have to go back through my notes. But yeah, that to clear that up. Thanks for doing that.
Okay, so this guy Bill, you say he was appointed by Trump.
This the interesting part, Jamie. Finish your question.
Yeah, this is the part that's gonna get people buzzing.
Yeah. I'm
so
glad
he was appointed by Trump, and I know us as Black Americans particularly, when Trump's name come up, that's taboo. The first thing you think of when it comes to Trump is I can't stand this nigga. Like that's pretty much in our culture. Or whatever he says is a lie. Or this can't be true. Or it's some kind of hidden agenda. What exactly is his part in it in this when it comes to him appointing this guy, being in place, knowing good and well that he is for pro reparations for this guy. And keep in mind, Bill is not a black man.
He's not.
For those of y'all that don't know that.
Right. All right.
So go ahead.
Yeah, so just putting facts over feelings first. And this year in 2025, earlier this year, ironically in Black History Month, this state representative, the guy we talking about named Bill Aselli, introduced a reparations bill. And then a month or two, let's say 2 months to play it safe, President Trump appointed this guy from state representative in California, as you mentioned earlier, to U.S. attorney. Now he's currently over the federal law enforcement, so he's looking over the ICE raid deportations that's going on. This part gets interesting too. I don't know how much time you want to spend on this. So on one hand, Jamie, he introduces the reparation bill. On the other hand, he's overlooking the ICE raid deportations for the Black immigrants family. This way it gets interesting because the Black immigrants, they want Black Americans to sort of stand in solidarity against the ICE raid deportations. And we like, y'all don't even support reparations. So that's a light tension. That's some slight tension between the Black Americans, if you got time to speak on that. So Black Americans,
we got time. Go ahead.
That's it. I'll pass it back to you. So and I was just in a meeting last week, bro, a high profile meeting. I don't want to do no name drops because I want to be invited back. And I heard it with my own ears that the Black immigrants, Africans and Caribbeans, are like, hey, we need Black Americans to kind of stand with us. And I, among others, spoke up and also said, yeah, we need y'all to stand with support our reparations. Y'all asking us to get on the battlefield. Think about that, bro. So Caribbean immigrants and African immigrants, much love and respect to all, but it is what it is. Y'all asking us to stand in between the Caribbean immigrants and African immigrants and ICE. That's a lot. That's a big ask, homie. And we're saying just morally support reparations. So you tell me, like, is that a fair deal? Who's asking for too much? Is that too much to ask for? Like, we just asking y'all to morally support it. You don't have to leave your house or nothing. Y'all asking us to come out our homes and get on the battlefield and stand in between ICE agents and Caribbean immigrants and African immigrants when they come, deport them back to their countries. Go ahead, bro. My bad for taking so long.
No, you're good. So I just wanted to ask this. So I know you said morally support. So what does that look like for the Black immigrants, like the Africans and the Caribbean, to support us? Like, what is it that they could do in support of helping us when it comes to this?
Bro, I couldn't even hold my smile in because it took me back to the show we did a couple weeks ago where Haiti did the opposite. Shout out to Lil Haiti. That's the homie. Great stand-up comedian. Haiti did the opposite of morally support when he made the joke. He made a joke, but it was a real statement. I don't want to be around rich American niggas. That's not moral support, homie. That's saying I don't want them niggas to get reparations because they too much to handle without. It's like the Dave Chappelle skit, that he was famous for. They should have never gave you niggas money. So that's how a lot of them feel. Moral support is do what's right. Give them people, although we not gonna benefit directly. Do it, you know what I mean? That's moral support. That's Haiti saying the opposite, man. Give my Black American brothers and sisters.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna have to take up for him some. I believe it was more so just a joke because he did double back. I don't know if you caught that. He did double back and say he do think we should get it because other ignorant groups such as Armenians, Jewish, and Japanese are receiving theirs, and he's like he never understood why they refused to give it to us. So he did say that.
All right, so let me read this comment real quick, Jamie. Stephen Harris said, no federal reparations bill has been passed in the U.S., and the concept faces opposition rooted in ideas of collective guilt and differing views on who is responsible. Now, Jamie, let's respond to that real quick. Absolutely right, Steve. No federal reparation bill has been passed. The bill we're talking about this morning needs to be passed. Let me just speak straight talk. You know what I'm saying? Get straight to it. The bill we're talking about this morning that a Republican party people, we all thoughts on deck for this one. That a Republican state representative already introduced the bill. The bill is written out. Jamie, I put it in the chat section. So, Steve, to your comment, this bill needs to be passed. Just like the big, beautiful bill. This is better than the big, beautiful bill, homie.
Yeah. This is the big, beautiful bill.
This is, and Jamie, not if you don't mind, not just for us, bro. Is documented that, bro. You already know we spend $2 trillion. I'm rounding up.
We covered that. We covered that. The last Black Chat Chronicle podcast. Those of y'all who haven't.
If we spend $2 trillion from Black Friday to Thanksgiving without reparations, imagine what we're gonna spend. Imagine they just match.
Our economy would take the hell off. It would, because we're gonna spend. That's what we do. That's what we do, bro.
Yes, it benefits everybody. So it's not, people don't need to look at it like, damn, it's only gonna benefit. Like what Lil Haiti said, I don't want to be around no rich American Negroes. So but once they understand, no, this actually benefits everybody.
Yeah,
hopefully,
the federal, like you said, the feds, they have the ability to just print the money. They don't have to take it straight from the tax dollars. But yeah, anybody, I noticed the comments gotten a little dry. I don't know if Ali, DeMarcus, Steve, you probably still up in here, or whoever, you have any questions, feel free to ask. We definitely gonna give the money back in record time. That's the truth.
And that benefits everybody, TK.
Everybody's like, the economy is gonna start smacking. They're like, well, damn, these niggas buying everything.
Right.
So, and then this is the thing. If we was to go broke, let's just say that was to happen. I know a lot of people that was not pro reparations, such as Anton, Myron Gaines, and other people that that came out and said, all we're gonna do with it is spend it and be broke in a few years. And that's better. Yeah. But guess what? Then you get that monkey off your back, but like, hey, we gave to you niggas. You can't do nothing else after that. Then they can say, y'all had the opportunity. Y'all just being some lazy niggas. Then you can say it, because you made good on what you did to us.
Right. Right on.
Crime would definitely go up if we got reparations out. So I would love to see you explain that.
Yeah, I don't think he can find no receipts for that.
And from what I know throughout history, giving people out of poverty lowest crime rate, 90%.
Right. It definitely would take us out the equation. We wouldn't have no reason. I mean, throw them under the jail if a joker got their reparations and they still out here doing
it. That only makes sense.
Right.
How would it be dispersed? I mean,
yeah. Remember, see what I love about your show, Jamie. We answering all these questions. We're not telling people to go back and watch the other shows, but remember, we said on the federal level. See, now if you do it on a state level, they can say, "Nah, we ain't got the money." The feds print their own money, homie. So to answer that question, federal currency, just like the PPP loans, how they was able to delete that debt with a push of a button. Hey, how much? We trying to get the same way Trump put his signature on those pandemic checks. Go ahead, bro. If you need this for your ego, go ahead and put your signature on these. Well, he's not really in favor of reparation checks. He's more like business investment, entrepreneurs. So to expect,
and I think that's better. See, folks probably will be mad at him for this, but I think that's better, because that would stop us. Because this is the thing: you give a bunch of niggas a bunch of money, and they don't know anything about business or anything about economics, they're gonna just blow that shit. But if you give them in the form of business, now they have to learn how to work businesses to be profitable, because they're putting you in the position to look, you can get this if you work for it and learn how to do it. This is y'all incentive that we're only giving exclusively to y'all because of what was done to your people.
Come on.
You can use this to like let's say one of it is, you don't have to pay taxes for I don't know whatever amount of years, plus you guys get you're eligible for a $5 million business loan on whatever select business and stuff you guys choose to put it on. I'm just throwing out some stuff that
makes sense
out there. And that will actually be better because that will put you in a position where you can consistently earn money and not just blow it all at once.
Right.
Now, certain niggas not gonna be able to do it. You do have, unfortunately, you do have lazy niggas that just not gonna do anything. You do have,
but Jamie, you made a great point when you said at least they get the monkey off their back.
Yeah, exactly. Then they'll get the monkey off the back. Be like, look, we gave y'all something. If you didn't take advantage of it, that's your fault.
That's your fault.
The real people that are logical people would be like, he's telling the truth. Now you got certain people that just lazy, that's gonna go against anything the government, especially people like Trump, says anyways. Them people you just can't deal with them. They're gonna complain regardless. See, those are the type of people that you're talking about, DeMarcus. The people that complain and whine about anything. I agree with that. But when you're critiquing something to make it better, that's needed. That's like a father parenting his child. You have to make sure that they're prepared. But yeah, so I'm actually all in favor of that, opposed to a long sum of money. Or you could give a little bit of both. Let's say you give us no taxes, give us our business loan plus let's say $5,000 monthly for a certain amount of years. I think that's fair.
Well, let's remember who watch we operating on. We on Trump's watch right now, and again, Trump is pro-business, so he's not looking. And the guy who wrote this bill, U.S. Attorney Ayesha, he pretty much said the same thing. They not saying we got to give in to what they think is best for us, but they're basically saying business vouchers. You know how you got housing vouchers and all kind of stuff like that. They're saying we just we want y'all to still handle business. So it's more business vouchers than just what they would consider handouts. So like you said, bro, it would be led in with what they call financial literacy. So everybody I think you're a perfect example. I said it already, so I won't say it again, but somebody who's already got his business in order and you just need the funding to level up. And so if somebody just sitting at home not doing nothing, they wouldn't meet the criteria. Again, this is on Trump's watch. Now, once Trump get out, we stuck with him for another 3 years. So once he get out, if you want to alter the reparations, it would be public law by then. If you want to alter the recommendations, you could. But that's the difference between Democrats and Republicans. Republicans are more pro-business. Democrats are more like social programs.
Right. Okay, we got some more comments. How would you feel if we ended up getting into another Great Depression situation?
I don't know how that connects to what we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to get the most knowledge possible in this show. Great Depression, that's a big what if. I'll become the student in the classroom for that question. But as far as what we do know, as far as what the experts have put out there, doing this. I mean, there's multiple reports, dude. You got reliable sources like Forbes that has covered this. And they're saying it will boost the greater America. You talking about making America great again. This is the best way to do it because it takes care of the legacy of the United States. It helps the reputation of the United States and what they love the most, the economic growth. You can't get around that, fam. I don't know how y'all gonna get around that. So the Great Depression question, you got me with that, bro. I don't. Jamie, you might have something for that. I don't.
With that, as far as that, how would I feel about it? I mean, shit, I wouldn't feel good about it. I mean,
nobody's in it. When I see this gonna see, y'all always do it, man. Y'all pull the what some people would say the arrogance out of me, but it ain't no Great Depression when Black Americans are thriving, homie. You can't make America great again and leave us out. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to make America great, make this
America
nation.
doesn't move without us, bro.
Thank you.
It doesn't move without us.
Right. We are the
Like,
currency.
those of y'all that didn't come into the Black Chat Chronicles podcast this past Sunday, as of 2025, Black Americans, and keep in mind that we're one of the smallest in population,
13%.
yet we still spend $1.8 trillion.
Round it up to 2, Jamie. 2 trillion. Come on.
Well, say 2 trillion. Right. If you gave us our reparations, that 2 trillion would probably triple.
It will.
It probably would triple. 6 trillion a year.
Yeah.
You know how booming the economy would be? Everybody's businesses would be taken off.
Everybody.
They would have us to thank for it.
You over the stove. You over the stove now. You cooking. Keep going.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, bro, yeah. At this point, like you just said, bro, people that still saying they don't want us to get it. At this point, you're just making excuses because you just
and eventually you're gonna get exposed of just being a hater. And we're taught to love.
That's when the hater stuff should start coming in, DeMar.
Yeah.
When people had to eliminate it, look, this group has gotten reparations. That didn't even happen on American soil, like Japanese. Yeah, it was a tragedy. What happened to them? Did America do that to them? Yes, but that didn't happen on American soil. So why are they here getting reparations for it? I'm not saying I'm 100% against it. I'm just saying they're receiving it. Now, Armenian genocide, I don't think America had anything to even do with that, did they? Yeah, nothing to do with that. They're receiving reparations for that, people.
Come on, put it out.
So what's the excuse? And then you, of course, the Jewish Holocaust, same shit. Didn't happen here in America, but they're receiving benefits for it.
That's right.
But the most atrocious doing in American history, damn near in world history,
in human history, world history, facts,
has been done to us on American soil, and this is our land that we are sitting on till this day. We built it. Donald Trump, our current president himself, has admitted several times we built it.
Yes,
but we don't deserve anything.
Right.
Come on, bro. That don't even make sense. Like basically, folks, like I said, folks just making excuses because I think it's a couple things. You got a group of people that just simply don't want us to get it because out of jealousy and hating. And then you got certain people that just simply are non-believers. I think a lot of the Black people that spew out a lot of the negativity, they just feel like, look, America has done us this bad and done us this way for the longest, bro. Stop looking for handouts. They ain't gonna give it to us.
What?
I would understand that.
Well, James,
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say we've said this on a private phone call. It's time to go public with it. Those Negroes are still going to accept their checks, bro, and that's why we don't need to waste precious lifetime going back and forth. And I'm talking about our Black American family, our Black Americans. The Black Americans who are against it, how much lifetime should we waste going back and forth with them when this gets passed, you know they're going to accept their check. So our challenge is, let me ask you and your audience a question, Jamie. I know this is your show, but I heard this before and I think it's interesting. Would you rather be nibbled on by crabs or swallowed by a whale? And that's a question for you and the audience. And we going somewhere with this. Would you rather be nibbled on by crabs or swallowed by a whale? And this is directly connected to the topic we're chopping up right now.
Man, that's crazy. I never had nobody ask me nothing like that.
All right, so here's some background to it. Listen, because I know we are running out of time. Trump is the whale. The crabs are the
white people. The niggas.
So if you're gonna go out, if you got a fork in the road, your only choice is to choose which way you want to go out. Do you want to be nibbled on? Do you want to go out?
I think I would rather get swallowed, bro.
I think I would too, Jamie. I'd rather get swallowed by the whale, bro.
You ain't gonna really, feel that. Like you get nibbled on to death. That's gonna be painful.
Yeah, I'd rather get swallowed on by the whale, bro. I'm about to walk in this reparation museum now to wrap up the show, man. This is a good show, though. I appreciate it. Hey, good morning.
Okay, so Marcus gave us a response to why he thinks crime rate will go up. Crime would definitely go up because other races would be upset if blacks got reparations. Look at what they did to Black Wall Street. Okay, so I get what you're saying, DeMarcus. I can agree with you on that. So you're saying that other ignorant groups would be upset.
All right, thank you.
And would commit crime.
Right.
Hey, at that point though, we'll just have to hold our ground and just, but I think that would create us to have unison, which we haven't had for a very long time. When a loan is good standing, it means the borrower is making payments as agreed. Okay, Black people need some sort of real estate vouchers. Being robbed of property has set families back generations. I 100% agree with
that. Yeah, you could put that in with the business vouchers. Real estate vouchers, business vouchers, pretty much that's synonymous. That's pretty much the same thing.
So if we have sorry, my bad, I was reading the more comments. So if we have the ancestry, what about parents, grandparents, or have recent past? Would our children receive it too?
Yeah, as Trump said, the great grandbabies are slaves and their children. So the great grandbabies of slaves put you at the Motown generation. The great grandbabies of slaves are like Michael Jackson and all now, Diana Ross. Those the great, and now we're their children and grandchildren. So yeah, it's about developing generational wealth, financial literacy to develop generational wealth. So as you said, Jamie, once the nation gets the monkey off their back, can't nobody say, hey, we took care of that. Y'all did the Dave Chappelle sketch thing, and we don't want to hear nothing else about it. That's our money to blow. Go ahead, bro.
So we have hold on. Y'all forget about Tulsa massacre by the 1921 reparations.
Oh, that's the pain. See, I don't want to waste too much. It's time to get to the money, y'all. How much? I know people are addicted to pain. Oh, that's the pain, and our pain is well documented, fam. From Tulsa, I mean, which chapter, which episode you want to pick from? We got countless amounts of that. That's when they say pinpoint the pain. We try to get to the money part of people. You know what I mean? We could heal some of that pain as we get to this money. But Tulsa, the list goes on, bro. You can't even count on everybody's fingers and toes. How many unbelievable. Jamie just said earlier it was the worst case in world history. World history is 6,000 years old. Not the world. The globe is 13 billion years old. But world history, which means documented events. We've been documenting events for 6,000 years. I think it starts with the Mesopotamia. Go ahead.
We call the reparations aims witness the massive compounding wealth disparities that have been passed down through generations. The mentality, we always voting on the lesser of two evils.
Jamie.
Yeah.
You said we love to stunt on each other. Are we ready to step to Trump to insist that he federalize this bill? Because all the excuses been taken away. You're not using taxpayers' money to fund reparations. So now so that's the whale. Remember, let's try to catch the whale. Why? I mean, Trump, are you going to federalize this bill? You've been going executive order crazy. So doing an executive order this reparations bill.
I'm talking about. I ain't been following them like that heavily, but at one point, every other day, that's a big one.
Yeah. Let's get to it, man.
We doing that shit every other week. So go ahead, sign us over, and show us the signature on us.
Right.
A lot of the people that hate you, Trump, some of them gonna try and go ahead and get rid of that hatred. Now, some of them gonna hate regardless because that's what they do. They just can't not be not be a hater because for some reason they have believed that Trump has wronged us so badly that no matter what he do, we go hate him. So y'all just responded, not to understand.
Right. Now, well, this is his opportunity.
What are we not trying to understand, DeMarcus? We better go ahead and wrap this thing up soon. But I want to know what didn't we understand?
Investments in Black communities such as first-time home buyer program that's being done in Evanston, Illinois, as we speak. So that form of reparations has already been successful. They're receiving their reparations in the Evanston outside of Chicago right now, based off what what Stephen Harris said. Investments. Yeah, all of those. So there we go, party people. We need recommendations, because that's where once this thing is in action, they start picking and choosing which reparation recommendations they want to put in reality next.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what let's. I'm not saying let's move past the pain. Pain is real, but let's start focusing on recommendations. What can get done? This program, that program. You know what
I'm
I'm
gonna say
saying?
this though. Hey, I'm gonna say, and this is gonna be a controversial take. Folks might give me a little attack on this, but I don't give a damn. Get rid of that damn pain. Now I'm gonna tell you why. I mean, I'm not saying we should just forget that it was done to us altogether, but I think we spend way too much time on it. That's the reason why we can't recover, because certain people use it to their advantage. Each and every time something happens, they're like, remember this happened, remember that happened. Y'all gonna let that go? Y'all gonna let that go? It gets you under the same mindset to focus on that when you should be focusing on this. They keep using the same tactic. We got to stop doing that at some point. I'm getting tired of these slave movies. I'm getting tired of these slave shows. I'm getting tired of all this. I'm not saying we shouldn't honor our ancestors and stuff that went through what they went through. But what I am saying is, bro, at some point, we're gonna have to stop letting that
be the narrative.
Yeah, and bind us to the same shit. We're not growing as a people because we keep focusing on the same shit. You can't expect a different results and you keep doing the same shit over and over.
That's absolutely right. That's insanity, bro. So, as I'm saying, let's focus on the recommendations, so we can get these things done. What recommendations did the U.S. Attorney Bill Aselli introduce in his bill? He introduced business vouchers. That's one of his recommendations. Say, no, we're not giving y'all checks. No, we're not using taxpayers' money to fund reparations. He said, but we can grant business vouchers. That's his recommendation. What's our recommendations? So once we get the bill passed, and this is better than the big beautiful bill, once we get it passed, then we can start adding recommendations that's logical and that can be accomplished. And that's the focus part of people moving forward. Let's focus on what recommendations will make this nation great for the first time. Jamie, I have great appreciation for you bringing me back on your platform. I'll let you close it out, man. I really appreciate this segment. And
lastly, I want to say this too on the remember when we start touching on the spending problem. See, here's another thing with the spending. If they was to do some things to get us, and we did all collectively, use it, at least a great percentage of us became rich off of whatever they ended up passing. Even if you were to fall off and become broke, one thing I do know is once you touch that, you get a taste of it once, it's much easier to achieve it again because you already kind of, felt it a little bit and you already knew what it took to get there kind of. So you'll somewhat strive harder to get back to that.
Jamie, not to make it about me, but if I can add a personal experience to your point, when I left high school to go to college and got my first taste of being outside of my parents' home, you absolutely right. I never wanted to go back, bro. I always worked hard to make sure I had my own space, my own place. You know what I'm saying? So and that's the same point you're making. I'm just using the personal experience to validate what you just said. Yeah, but once you get a taste of a certain lifestyle, you're going to strive stronger. You're going to strive harder to maintain that lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? So you're absolutely right. And that's and again, man, it's everybody's. If you want to blow your money, Jamie. You made a strong point that I'm gonna continue to use after this show. Hey, they got the monkey off their back. The United States got the monkey because it's really the only blemish that's ruining the reputation of a great nation. With the exception of what happened to us, this really is a great experiment that has been put together. And once they right that wrong, it's going down as one of the greatest nations in world history and human history. But they have to right that wrong, homie. And you know, we're gonna see if Trump got the, you know, the kahunas to do it, man. He definitely just Jamie, remember we said Trump, we need you. I'm talking directly to Trump right now. We need, please, sir, we need you to put out a reparation proclamation. That you are, anybody that's familiar with a reparation proclamation, a proclamation is not, it doesn't have legal force, but Trump will be using his influence to the nation to tell him, hey, I'm in support of this, but just like he did with the Board of Education, I'm gonna leave it up to the cities, counties, and states to administer how they want to distribute these different reparation recommendations.
Yeah, and just that would be enough. I'm sure certain states will still try to fight it, though. I will say that. Because, you know, certain ones are just going to be haters, and they just, you know, hatred wouldn't want us to get it. But for the ones that would be able to understand the benefits of the business side of it, they might go ahead and approve it. Because like I said, like for instance, Mississippi is the poorest state in America. But I would make a strong argument. It's probably also the most racist state in America.
Good argument.
Who's able to give all of those blacks their reparations? They would boost your economy of Mississippi if you was to pass that. Just saying.
Remember, since we're speaking of Mississippi, let me add this point, and we're gonna go right next door to their state neighbor, the governor of Alabama. Back in segregation, he did a survey on poor blacks and poor whites, and he found out, to make a long story short, he found out that the poor whites didn't care how much money Negroes had. They just wanted to know that they were better. In other words, so to give you a real life example, if the police was called to a situation, and in 2025 we experienced this, when the police show up, the law enforcement power, and I'm not saying this as a one size fit all statement for all law enforcement, I don't need no smoke with them, but the support would go towards the poor white, and that's what they cared about the most. So this is a very sensitive, delicate thing we're dealing with. It's bigger than money. They don't care about how much money we got access to. When they're around, they want to know they got more power. If I call the police gonna be on the white guy's side. You smell what I'm telling you? And so we got to work through all that mental illness, to be honest with you. And the question, and this will be my concluding statement or question, bro. It's gonna be a challenge to find out: do y'all really want to make America great, or do which one do y'all love more? The United States or white fragility, white supremacy? Which one do y'all love more? The country y'all proclaim to love so much, or do y'all love white supremacy more than the United States? And that's gonna be a tough one for them to if they have a conscience, that's gonna be a tough one for them to process.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and address these last few. You said, would y'all rather not pay taxes on anything forever, or not having to pay back school loans for reparations? I think I'm gonna take the no taxes, me personally. And then of course, appreciate the super chat. I think he on froze now. Do blacks deserve reparations if they won the lottery? Damn. That's a crazy one, DeMarcus. I'm gonna say yeah, because I mean, I think that's just like you telling somebody they don't, deserve a settlement that they were owed from one company just because they already got one settlement from another. Like, you can be wronged just because you're already in a better position. Don't mean that you still don't deserve, don't mean that you don't deserve the it's owed to you. So yeah, I think they should still receive it. Just more money in their pocket. What part are you speaking of, Ali, when you said she spoke on that also? Last questions probably I'm gonna address, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get up off here and start the rest of my day. This is actually the longest morning show I've ever had, hour and 45. Whites being entitled over us because of their skin. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. But see, this is my thing. I think if we were able to financially take care of ourselves, we'll be able to form our own police where we wouldn't really have to deal with theirs too much. Because I always felt like, blacks should police themselves because obviously under a lot of circumstances, they abuse their power when it comes to us on certain circumstances. So yeah, go ahead and give us what we owe. We'll get our own police, maybe even create our own community and build up from there. But yeah, like I said, I'm about to go ahead and close this thing out. I'm almost at 2 hours. The morning show typically don't be this long, as y'all know. But hey, the reparation topic was going, so can't cut it off when things are hot like that. But like always, 100% appreciate everybody that came through. DeMarcus, stay who you are, dude. I actually love that you're not the type that just lay down. You're very strong at your takes on things, whether it's we're talking to TV shows or things as far as culture. You always gonna state your opinion, and trust me, I'm not here to belittle anything that you think. Keep doing you, speaking on what you think, bro. I think that's a beautiful thing. Cause I'm the exact same way. I'm gonna speak my mind. And no one's gonna hold me back on whatever it is I got to say. And as people, I think it's always a great thing when we can agree to disagree. Like that's always a great thing. Like people act like you got to be arch enemies just because you don't agree on something. As long as it's not something that is straight up, you know what I'm saying? As long as it's not something straight up just egregious and low down, dirty, evil, you can agree to on disagree on certain stuff and still be cool. But anyways, when they say make America great again, they're talking about supremacy. I'm not gonna get into that because that's gonna open up a whole new can of worms, and I ain't got time for right now. Yeah, Golson, there will be a live tonight. Appreciate you stopping through. All right, appreciate you, DeMarcus and Steve. I'm about to go ahead and check out.